Hi, I'm Air Quotes. Is your faction boring? Join the funnest faction in Torn City, the Resolute. We are non-toxic, highly active completionists. We have ranked wars weekly for fun and profit. Join the Resolute. We started from 5k nothing and chained well over 1 million respect in less than a year. We are the Resolute. We have great perks, good friends, good times. Join the Resolute today. Ranked war guests are welcome. Join the Resolute.
Vaguely Canadian's Ranked Weapon Emporium, your one-stop shop for ranked weapons at all prices. This week's featured weapon is the Frenzy Samurai Sword, currently listed at 950 mil. A strong stat line that keeps getting stronger, backed by Japanese education to bring maximum pain. Xanax, FHCs, and 30E cans may be included for payment options, and rentals can be discussed at your request. Stop in now and check back often. Find your dream weapon today. Nomad's faction family, recruiting players of all levels and styles of play. Our main branch offers a relaxed environment for established players. Our medical branch is the perfect place for the new and experienced survivor alike. And for you competitive players hungry for war, our 2.0 branch offers multiple paid ranked wars per month. With over 4 years as a family and a respected name, Nomad's faction family. Apply now.
This is an emergency broadcast alert. There has been a confirmed detonation of a radioactive bomb within Torn. We urge all residents to remain calm and listen to Torn Underground podcasts.
This Halloween, we have with us Ara, that's myself, the Felon, and Andyman, and Cheb. Welcome all.
Hello.
It's Halloween episode.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
This is probably going to be my favorite episode of the entire podcast history that we do. Maybe until next year when we do it again. So I'm excited, and I'm also excited to convince Ara to do it because I personally think anybody who's not thinking about doing this event is just ridiculous. So that's kind of where my thought process is on that.
Think about it this way: if I don't end up participating in Halloween at this episode, you failed, Felon. You failed.
That's true. Okay. All right. So that's fine. I'll take that. So by the end of this episode, we need to convince Ara to do this event.
Sounds like a tall order.
Yes, it sounds really easy.
No, it's actually super easy because I'll just tell him that if he does the event, I'll buy him like a dumbbell or something. And
There you go.
yeah, we're good.
No, I'm done with the dumbbells, man.
All right,
don't
parachute.
go to a crackhead that's like said he put down the crack and then offer him more crack. I said
No,
I put
you-
down the crack.
You just put down the crack like yesterday though, so you still have the addiction in you, so it's easy enough to.
This is messed up,
to
man.
fix. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about Halloween. So let's just kind of I guess do a quick rundown of like how to get started, maybe
Yeah.
for people who haven't done it.
We can start with that. Does everybody know that you have to get the Halloween basket from, I think it's the sweet shop?
Yep.
So,
That's
yeah.
the toughest part.
Yeah, so that's probably the toughest part for anybody new going into this. And after you have that basket and you have it in your inventory, you have a chance to start receiving treats for attacks made during the trick-or-treat event. So only during the trick-or-treat event. That's a big clarification note that I'm going to make because folks are out there and like dog tags, they'll randomly DM me and say, "Hey, I thought I was going to get treats." I'm like, no, very much not. So, and then it's really important to note that attacks are only leaves, mugs, hospitalizations, arrests, and all the weird Duke mission options like kiss and what's the other one, like secrete.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they do not count for assists or timeouts, no intercepted attacks, nothing like that. So it's really important that any target you initiate, that you're able to finish them and no one else is going to hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad to try and attack people that are coming out of hospital because every single other player is going to be doing the exact same thing, and you're just going to get resistance.
Exactly.
And the event is from, let's see, October 25th at noontime until November 1st at noontime, of course, TCT time. So, so 1, 2, 3, 4, a full 7 days to make those attacks and get those candies.
That's
or
correct.
treats.
Should be like 168 hours total. 168.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like too long.
It's short. It goes quick.
Wow.
Yeah, it really does. For the best event in Torn, it's very short.
It does feel a lot longer when you're having to sit on Xanax timers, like, every 8 hours and waking up for them, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those events where you want to, like, 100% maximize your energy spent. Like, whatever you can do to get the energy out.
If there's one tip I can leave you with, it's to use your ugly energy and your fueling can book. Anything that gives you more energy is going to, oh my gosh, it's going to pay off big time during this event.
I wonder if it's actually kind of funny. Like, they do it right around Caffeine Con. So anybody who just started reading the book for Caffeine Con, you're in a pretty good spot right now as well, running into the
I
event.
did that.
Yeah.
I've just used the caffeine book to reduce. What is it? No, not reduce. I used that one last year. I used the one that doubled your can usage, so it gives you double the amount of energy while sat in a restaurant. So I started that a few days ago, just before Caffeine Con. The last bit of Halloween.
So you're set up nice.
Restaurant's going to be great for any new player in this. You're probably going to have to be stuck in like a grocery store, which is really close to being as good as a restaurant, honestly, just because your work stats are going to be a little lower.
Yeah, apart from that, a farm's probably the third best if you're gonna just go for straight energy.
Agreed.
Yeah, farms, and then I think Candle is like one of the most popular because you don't have to be at 10 stars. Because I can't imagine on the Sunday before Halloween your farm falling out of 10 stars.
It's brutal. Now that we have 100k chains, we're gonna have entire factions just like delay their chains because of like their faction farm is 9-star. Agreed.
And actually, there's a ticker going right now. Bloodbath and somebody else are starting their 100Ks.
Let's see where they're at.
So I know Bloodbath and Beyond are definitely started. They started just before Caffeine Con, which I think is a bit brutal on their members, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for the 100K, so I guess that's kind of more ammunition to use the cans. And I mean, if the faction is providing it, then that's for them anyway. But in that same ticker, it does say that 2 factions are going for it, and 2 dirty bombs are headed to each of their ways as well.
So who knows about that, really? Because you could just, like, a non-male sugar valves that, like, I'm
that's what it was.
And then, exactly.
Yeah,
you can't really take it too seriously.
Yeah,
get your dirty your donator pack rather for speculation, and go from there.
Yeah, it looks like Bloodbath is at almost just shy of 22K right now.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Okay.
The amount of donator packs I got for giving Sugar Valves false information, well, not false information, but giving them information during eliminations where I was giving other teams false information was just unreal. I think I got like 10 donator packs, and then I was obviously, that's why I was in the newspaper so much.
That's hilarious.
Awesome. I'll note one thing. I wrote this down earlier to make sure we didn't forget it. But with companies, the best company is actually going to be the 10-star TV. And that's only because there's a little bit of RNG associated with this. But if you have enough job points, the job points are not time gated. The energy is not. So if you get lucky, I think it's a 1 in 14 chance to get the free McSchmoogle boost. So it's 300 energy per 25 points used.
Wow.
And so that can add up very quickly if you get lucky. I think Ice Blue Fire did that last year.
Yeah, if you've got thousands of points, it's definitely worth trying.
If you got thousands, so you got to save up all year, and you got to again be in a 10-star TV, just like you were saying earlier with the farm.
Yeah,
Candle Shop's a little safer, but
not a bet. That 10-star perk is also great because even if you're fishing through points to try and get the energy, you could also end up with those like mini stat enhancers and stuff like that during the event, which isn't bad either.
Racing skills get maxed out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big one that everybody tends to forget about, but that can actually pay off pretty good.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so we just went over. You need to get the basket. The only extra thing for that, which I mean, I would think not a lot of people need to get it, but the amount of new people that sign up in this game, that's probably not true. But it restocks every 5 minutes with 1,000 baskets. So it's not like the 15-minute ticker for like the beer and plushies in the stores. And it costs $35. So it's not like it's a large barrier to get into this competition. It's just 35. And if you've for like new players who are buying like alcohol, you know, is the 100 per day. If you've already bought your 100, you can still buy the basket. But if you buy the basket first, that counts towards your 100. So if make sure you buy your stuff before you buy the basket, so you can get your full 100. But there's nothing that's going to block you from buying that basket if you see it and you don't have it. So
other than lag for the first day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's brutal. I remember like you lose a little bit of time just trying to get that basket before you can even start in the event.
I remember the first year where it was like restocked every hour rather than every 5 minutes, which is why they changed it. It was absolutely mayhem.
Yeah.
Because only 1,000 people managed to get the basket the first hour. Literally, there was so many thousands of people absolutely ranting and raving in the forums and to all the staff and everything about it. It was absolute pandemonium.
Yeah.
Rabble.
For sure. While peeling the paint off their F5 button.
Yeah. Yeah. Just refreshing as much as possible. Okay. So let's get into. So you have your basket and the event is going on. First thing to do, what do? We just start attacking?
Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is stack beforehand, right? So you want to go into it with an empty cooldown, empty drugs, 1,000 energy. Ideally, you want your newsletter energy from the summer, and you want to make sure you don't use your refill beforehand. But it's pretty much just find targets and nail them. Like Cheb was saying, I think it was Cheb. Do not concentrate on leveling or any popular targets. You definitely do not want it because assists do not count. And don't attack the NPCs either. There's a big drive for that. So
unless it's a Cthulhu,
right?
Yeah, we'll talk about him later. So I put this in tips and tricks, but maybe it's I'm not sure. So is there any difference for when you're getting into attacking? Is there any difference from attacking somebody that is closer to your stats compared to somebody who, like Ara, if he attacked a level 1 day? Like, is there any difference in that?
Nope, not at all. All finished attacks are equal.
Cool.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So basically, there's nothing where if somebody's inactive for so long they don't give treats, right? I thought I heard some type of event that was like that. If they were inactive for so long, you wouldn't get anything from them.
No, everything counts. Yeah, everything counts. So, and in fact, the strategy I use, I'll go ahead and share it. I'm probably going to regret this later, but I went through I saved the last 9 years worth of the class action lawsuit wins. I don't know if you have the IOU stock, you get that dividends one of them. So I have 123 pages of just random people for the last 9 years who have won class action lawsuits, and I just go down the list.
Yeah. I mean, really, there is no rhyme or reason to getting your list. It's just, I mean, the point of this event is to spend as much energy as possible attacking. So you just want to make sure that you have an extensive list because everybody else in Torn is also going to be doing the same thing. So you need to have a ridiculous amount of names that you can filter through. And like you said earlier, quickly. You want to be able to get them in the hospital quickly.
That's it.
My strategy, I'll give out as well, was last year, obviously, I was top 15, so I didn't get many assists. I used the advanced search to find people that have been offline for a long amount of time, and then also search for the amount of days old they were, and use that so that I knew they were low enough stat that I could easily one-shot them.
Yep.
And then I just picked a random page out of the 32,000 pages of people that have gone offline and haven't played the game for years, and just literally click a random page, just go through the whole page, and then just literally pick a completely random new page next time you want to find targets.
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
gonna say, if you do the advanced search and you look at like level 1s in a shack inactive for like 1 year plus, don't start attacking people on page 1 because
Right.
everybody is attacking people, and like go further in and start going down those lists, because what you can, I think we can all pretty much agree, whatever thought process you have into finding targets, there's more people doing the exact same thing, so you're fighting against everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many ways to be random, right?
Yeah.
I actually disagree with all of you. I'm going to have one person on my list, and it's you, Felid.
I was going to say, he's going to be the one guy to try and keep me in the hospital so I don't get to enjoy my favorite event. All I know is, like, unfortunately, I think we're warring right before Halloween, but like I am stacking as early as possible. I'm not risking not going into this with energy.
Oh yeah, I'm stacking a good 5 days in advance.
Yeah, I'll sit on a full stack and just keep popping like Vicodin for the merit or something, because there's not gonna go into this without enough energy. Okay, so we start attacking. We're getting treats. How do we? All right. So first, how are we maximizing our treats? How can we maximize our treats?
Cheb, you want to go on this one?
Yeah, so with the basket upgrades, you've got the first tier of basket will have the first tier of upgrades on it, and you want to not exchange any of your treats until you've got every single one of those upgrades unlocked. The first upgrade you're going to unlock is going to be the not scary weapon. It's going to be scary clothing, which means you've got to wear a mask or a piece of clothing like the what's that suit called? Where you've got the straight jacket. Sorry, that's the one. So you can wear a straight jacket. You can wear any of the masks, and basically then you'll gain an extra 5% chance of gaining a treat on top of the 35% chance you'd get already of gaining a treat before everything else. So that gives you 40% chance. Then you want to get a scary weapon, which will give you, when you unlock that one, it'll make sure that you can use like a sickle, or you can use an axe or a chainsaw when you're attacking people, making the finishing hit. And that'll give you an extra 10% chance of getting a treat. And then you've got the doubler, the tripler, the quadrupler, and the quintupler, which you'll have a percentage chance of getting two treats in one attack, 3 treats in one attack, 4 treats in one attack, or 5 treats in one attack. But then they can also stack together to make a maximum. I think it was 120, or was it 240 treats? Andyman, do you remember?
Let me look it up real quick. I think it is. It is 120. Technically, the cat in hell gives you 1,000, but yeah, one.
Yeah,
but you'd go definitely for the quintupler first. I mean, when I've used it, I used the was it JFK? One of JFK members made a forum post where they've got torn dot report. I don't know if anybody's used it yet.
Yeah, Skeletron, I think.
Yeah, Skeletron, that's the one. He's made it, and I had a look on there, and my quintupler had a 133% effective rate, which means over the average of what it should have given me. And I think I got a good few hundred treats back from just the quintupler, so it's definitely worth getting. And from there you save up, unless you want to get Cat in Hell, which I did.
Yeah,
but you really shouldn't do.
Because you gotta do it.
Yeah,
1.5 million. You saying there's a chance?
Yeah, 1,000 treats. That's huge.
But obviously, it pushes so far ahead of the game with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If you do end up getting it, I think 2 people got it last year.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean it's an instant way to get the shadow of a doubt. So you're like you're saying, you're way ahead if you get that.
So then you don't exchange any of your treats at all. Don't buy any other upgrades. You just use the first 6 perk unlocks from the first rank of the basket, and then obviously Cat in Hell. Whenever you can unlock that, you get that if you want to, and then you just wait until you get 1,000 treats, and then you get Shadow of a Doubt, which gives you 1,100 treats.
Yeah, you pretty much covered. I think the only thing I'd clarify is that the spooky clothing or the scary clothing, I think, gives 10% as opposed to 5%. But everything else, I'm completely agreeing on. I just unlocked tier 1 as you open them, so double, or if that's what you got, triple, or so on and so forth. Just make sure this is a snowball event, right? like you're going to start out real low with a base treat percentage of 35%.
Yeah, you feel like you're never going to get there when you first start out. But then, obviously, once you've got everything unlocked out of the first rank of that basket for all of those tier 1 upgrades, you literally just start climbing so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it goes from like a little trickle out of a garden hose to like a full-on fire hose after you get to like the horrifying baskets.
Yeah, every time you upgrade your basket as well, it just keeps giving you more percentage chance of getting it.
You got
so
it.
you keep gaining more and more all the way on your journey to getting the Shadow of a Doubt.
Yeah, and like you said, Cheb, after you do all those base upgrades to help you get more, that Shadow of a Doubt is probably one of the most important bonuses you unlock, because it costs 1,000 and you get an 1,100, which cool, you make an extra 100, but that also goes towards upgrading your basket, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it gives you 1,100 extra treats.
Yeah.
Although obviously the 1,000 treats you used to spend on it, so you get a net gain of 100, but your baskets gets 1,100 treats effectively added to it.
Yeah, I like to call it basket credit as opposed to the treats. That's the way I've had to describe it to people. It's like, hey, you get basket credits along with treats.
Yep.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Good point. All right, so that's that, and then you get the 1,100. So now I was looking at your the last post that you did, the Halloween hype train. So once you get that, the Shadow of a Doubt, before turning in everything, would you say the best thing to do is to unlock all the upgrades for the items? Is that like kind of, because I think I did my math in my head, which isn't always a good idea, but in your stuff, in your post, you have numbers 9 through 16 marked out. I'm pretty sure if you unlock that 1,100, you have enough to unlock all of that next.
You'll either be able to get it, or it's really close. And I would completely agree and say I would not. Again, I'm gonna phrase this in a way that's kind of coming from the most optimal standpoint as far as making money and unlocking the Nightmares basket as soon as possible. But yes, Shadow of a Doubt, and then you have to have that discipline to not exchange any treats until you unlock all of the upgrades that you're ever going to unlock, right? So it's always best to unlock everything, invest in the basket, and then start to exchange treats. Yeah, because you're going to get a lot more stuff out of it, and they're going to be worth a lot more, and you're going to get energy and potentially nerve if you unlock that, etc. So yes.
Yeah. So, and then just talking about some of the stuff. So you unlock everything to get the best stuff, and including with that best stuff, you can get like the Deal with the Devil. Your consumables can be upgraded to booster and special items, which is like eDVDs, FHCs, business class tickets, casino passes. So that's obviously big stuff. And then the multi-pack, basically instead of getting like one drink, you could get like a 6-pack of alcohol. Can it also do like cans to the 6-pack of energy cans? Does that do that as well?
I think there's a separate upgrade for the energy can bump, but
no, it's not the same one.
Is it the same one? Okay,
yeah,
cool. So so definitely that. So definitely want to maximize, like you said, maximize the potential to come out of it. So for people who's, I think you kind of said it too earlier, is like how this event kind of compounds on itself. Like the first year you do this event might not be your like money making event.
To clarify, the first 2 years you do this event, it's actually going to cost you money if you use boosters. The third year, it's going to pay for itself like 8 times over.
Yeah.
See, that was different for me because both my first 2 years, because I think it's been running 2 years, right? I'm not going mad.
Yeah, this is the second year.
The first 2 years, I've used books on both of them. So halfway through last year, I actually managed to exchange 1,597 treats or something like that into like actual goodies from the basket. So I think like 1.5 years of, or even 1 and a bit years of using fully books for the event would then make you like fully upgraded basket. As you can see on my basket, I mean, I've got quite a lot of treats.
Yeah, you've got everything.
Well done.
Yeah, I think it really just depends, honestly, on your luck, because you even said like the quintupler, you were at 130%, so you were over the average. Like if you're using books to maximize that and you're your luck is good and you're averaging over, then yeah, the normal third year to be profitable could be your second or middle of your second year. It kind of all just depends.
Yeah, like I'll add into the obviously the chat that we're in at the moment what my quintupler did and stuff, just so we can have a look at it as well on this report. Although my quintupler was like more effective than it should have been, my quadrupler was less effective than it should have been as well. So it's really much dependent on luck.
Yeah.
A lot of luck involved. Yeah, when it comes to expected value in this game, like everybody knows, opening caches, winning the slot machine, etc. But yeah, it's the quintupler and quadrupler. If they both proc at the same time,
yeah,
you're sitting pretty.
Or if you are one of the 1 in 500,000 attacks that triggers the cat in hell and you get an instant 1,000 treats, that'll definitely set you apart.
Yep.
All right. So again, to recap, first year, maybe two, it's all about building. I think you even say in your post that to go from your number 7 to number 8, which number 8 for you is the one that gives you 1,100, that potentially could take you an entire year after buying all the upgrades. So like you can go into this event, if this is your first time, you can expect not to rake in the money, but please do not let that deter you from putting in the effort to build. Like this event, I'm assuming, is not going anywhere. This will pay for itself year over year over year that this happens.
That's correct. Yeah. So now I'll qualify this in saying that if you are 100% sure that you're, I don't know, getting deployed overseas or moving for work or something that, we actually had a person in Torn I know that actually is like doing something in Antarctica and they can't can't play for 6 months, and so they're going to come back to with a bunch of like inactivity refills that they're going to use for Halloween, which is kind of cool. But I mean, outside of a certain circumstance like that, you should absolutely get the Shadow of a Doubt first and just grind it and just go into it thinking, no, I'm not going to exchange any treats. I'm going to set myself up for next year. Again, discipline, right?
Yeah.
Short-term pain, long-term gain. Yeah.
So let's see. What that is.
Short. Yeah, no, you literally see like 425 million. You're like, ooh, a dumbbell.
Ooh, a candy.
Yeah.
Ooh, a candy.
Yeah. That's basically how Ara plays. So yeah, it might be. Have you done it at all, Ara?
Yeah, I participated last year. I have a shocking basket, so nothing crazy, but I only did 1 year.
So at least you got a basis.
Yeah, that's right. I did something.
All right. Yeah.
Shocking basket's like 100, so yeah, you did some attacks.
Yeah.
If you carried it on, you'd get 6 free dumbbells per year just from Halloween.
There you go.
Seriously,
that's a pretty good. That's not bad.
In 1 week of attacking.
And keep in mind, that's just from the treat exchange. If you're actually like arresting people or mugging or getting paid for your respect, I mean, you can make a lot of money on this.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're one of those people who are attacking like actives in this event, I mean, well, first, like, God love you, because that's interesting because you could piss off the wrong person and not have a lot of time to play in this event. But I guess using the mug feature is kind of like, unless you're chaining and you want to get the respect, but it's kind of just like a win-win. You get the potential to get treats and just happen to see if there's any extra money you can pocket at the same time.
Good old plunder axe.
Yeah, oh my God, axes are going through the roof in the trading forums right now.
I've got one for sale if you want it.
There you go. How much does that cost you?
Hey, Ara, can you cut that out? That's an advertisement. He didn't pay us for that.
Oh no.
No, you're right though. You be careful attacking active people. Unless you're a top 100, I mean, it's really risky to attack the wrong person who's gonna, bounty you or hit you with a stricken weapon. And because I mean, all it takes is. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, imagine how many billions of cash people have invested into this event just for you to push them off. I don't think they'd mind sparing a few more 100 mil on bounty into the ground.
Absolutely. It's a lot cheaper than a dirty bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. And then, so one thing we talked about it off air, but I guess it's good to talk about now. So, and this is probably one of my favorite upgrades now that I actually know how it works, but it's a dark power. So with exchanging your treats, you also receive 5 energy for every treat exchanged. And again, we talked about how this is all about having the most amount of energy that you can spend throughout this entire event. So now, again, I just learned about this. So is it literally every single treat you turn in, it's plus 5 energy? It's not like there's a chance at getting 5 energy. It's just, you just get it.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a 5-1 ratio, 5 energy for 1 treat.
Okay. And that's when you trade it in. So not only are you getting the energy, but you're also getting items from like the prize pool.
That's correct.
So win-win. And then my favorite part, again, that I just found out is you could, theoretically, I know we'll talk about this in a second about what not to do, but you could theoretically trade in 200, get 1,000 energy, and then use it all and trade in 200 more right after that, and you get another 1,000 energy again.
That's correct.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite thing. So I just said we'll talk about it in a second. So let's talk about the actual trading in behind this. I know there is some type of madness to how you trade in treats. So what is the ideal way to actually trade in treats?
Cheb, you want me to jump in on this?
Yeah, I can do. So basically, with the cashback and freebie, you never want to exchange any more than 182 treats, and that's just at like an absolute hard maximum, because 182 treats will get you your 200 energy. That's not 200 energy. It'll count as 200 treats being exchanged for your dark power, is what I meant. Sorry. So you'll get 1,000 energy back for that. Also, you don't want to anymore be exchanging anything that's not a multiple of 10, purely for the fact that you're going to have rounding errors happen, and it's not going to give you the extra treats for it. So you only want to be exchanging multiples of 10. I would probably go for below 140, just so you don't hit that like 60 treat, that 60 treat payout from one attack that will take you over like way into like 200. So probably even less than that. Even sorry, it'll probably be like 100 treats. Would be probably the maximum you want to be exchanging.
Yeah, that's where I tend to start looking for exactly 100. If I get to 98 and I hit we'll say a tripler and I'm at 101, I'll go ahead and make a few more attacks until I hit 110. But yeah, always if it's not divisible by 10, go to the next round, because you get 0 treats if you only turn in 9.
Although last year it was better to exchange 91 treats, because then it would give you 100 treats exchanged. Like 82, 91, 100, and then you'd want to like exchange, I think it was like 111 or something, so that you'd get the extra on top of it. But now that's been changed. Yeah, you wanted to do multiple of 10s only.
Multiple of 10s, and like Cheb was saying, if you're at 140, there's a real slim chance. But say you're at 150, and then you hit that 60 treat bonus. Now you're over 200, right? So you're essentially 10 treats you're not going to get any energy for, because there's an energy cap of 1,000. So good point.
So now, Cheb, you said that if you trade in 186, you'll get the 1,000 energy. How does that work?
So basically, freebie procs on your basket when you cash it in, so it gives you 10% of your treats. So if you had 182 treats, it would give you 18 extra, which would fill it up to 200, and then the dark power would activate.
So the cashback happens before it pays out?
Yeah, before dark power procs, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought they had changed that. Maybe not.
I thought they did as well. I got into a really heated debate in my faction chat about it, and then I pointed to my own thread that I made in the Bugs and Issues forum last year, where I thought Chedburn had fixed this issue. Because I thought it might have been an issue, might have been a bug, not really sure if it was an issue or not. So I pointed at my own forum, and then I got pointed out that in my own writing and in Chedburn's own response that wasn't the case. And that they've only changed the fact that it shows you now, when you're cashing in, it actually shows you visually the cashback treats in your basket that you've exchanged. So it'll have, like, let's say you're doing 100, it'll have 100, then it'll cross out the 100, and it'll put 110 next to it, so it's visually actually showing you how many it's exchanging now.
Well, that's nifty. Today I learned.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense then that it proctors before the energy. So 182 absolute max, but really start looking for those 10 round numbers starting at 100 so you can maximize it.
I'm going to throw another wrench out there, and why you need to go closer to 100. It's really, really hard to use 1,000 energy, which is 40 attacks. Well, actually, it's 1,000 minus 150 because you'll have that natural regen. So effectively, 850 energy. It's really hard to use 850 energy during this event in 10 minutes, even with one-hit kills because of the lag. So you're going to lose out on some of that natural regen if you're really trying to min-max this at least.
And just to slip in again, this is only after you've fully unlocked all your basket, gone through Shadow of a Doubt, got your Dark Power, got everything unlocked.
Yeah.
Amen.
Otherwise, you don't want to be doing any of this.
Yeah, this will be like year 2 at the earliest, right? Probably year 3 for most people. So yeah.
Yeah, and I have 681 treats in my basket right now. I'm only at horrifying, so I need to get 400 or 320 as quickly as possible so I can get into the actual payouts of
the lowest amount of like 10 that you can exchange, I would say exchange it straight away. Like if you've got exactly 10 in your basket, there's no actual downfall of exchanging 10 exactly or 20 or 30. In fact, it probably helps you a bit more with your natural e-regen that you won't go over it with exchanging such a little amount because it's easier to use that much energy at once.
Felon, you're exactly where I was last year.
Really?
Yeah, like right on the money. I got like 650 going into it last year.
And was last year a profitable year for you?
It was at the end.
So there's hope.
There's hope.
How much money did you make last year, Andy?
I think it was like 1.7 billion, something like that.
Jesus. All right, are you listening to this?
The first third of the event was for a great basket.
I've got 23 treats.
23. And I think that was 1.7. And I was arresting people too. That was back when that early NPC looter thing was going on. Yeah. So I was arresting people. So that 1.7 doesn't count the arresting money that I got paid. That was risky.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're arresting active people.
Right. Typically, yeah.
So side question. I didn't put this in kind of the topics, but arresting people being in a detective agency versus a company with energy. What do you think would be more beneficial if you're looking to profit? I guess I should say
definitely a company with energy.
Yeah, energy company for sure. Yeah, I'm probably going to go into it this year in a gun shop, just because I need the extra mag for leveling up weapons. But that's also again, I'm kind of speaking from privilege here, right? Like I know I'm going to hit the nightmarish basket this year, so I'm kind of not worried about it.
That's true.
So, but I need the extra magazine, and then actually the extra damage in a gun shop is very solid too. It's another 10%, so it's kind of nice. Going into it with assassinate weapons and
So I only had like 2/3 of the event last year that I had a fully upgraded basket, and after upgrading it, obviously then starting to cash in my treats, and I got nearly 3 bill worth of items from cashing in the treats for the rest of the event.
Nice.
So I'm expecting this year.
That wasn't even a full event.
4 or 5 bill.
Yeah, I would say that wasn't even a full event. You're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be huge.
Ching.
Yes. And that, again, I can't say this enough to people who are starting off this year for the first time. Like, do not get discouraged because you're not making money this year. Like, if you plan on playing this game, for a long time, like this will probably be besides Christmas Town. Like this is, and I don't even think this isn't even close to Christmas Town. Like this is the most profitable event once you're like actually set up.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah. So the last question I had, and it's in terms of like your upgrades and everything, Mortal Coil and inflation, is it ever worth it?
So I'll say yes, it is if you're saving up 9,999 treats to unlock the beast.
Yep.
But outside of that, it'll basically never make sense to do so if you're after treats and by extension money, right? The opportunity cost of inflation is dark power. And as we noted earlier, dark power is just incredibly broken.
So I actually had Mortal Coil, which I've bought. And the the reason I bought it was because I knew that I would be doing this event more than 3 years. And if you're doing the event more than 3 years with Mortal Coil, then Mortal Coil is worth it.
Oh, is that when it pays for itself?
And Cheb, I'll challenge you on that. And I totally understand where you're coming from there, because it is about a 3-year payback, right? So 500 treat upfront cost, 168 effectively free treats a year forever.
Yep.
I'll challenge you only because, so yeah, it's got a 3-year payback period, and it's like, oh, that's pretty good. But I'd argue that you'd be looking at that incorrectly, in the sense that there's an opportunity cost to those 500 treats in year 0.
Mm-hmm.
So you could turn those 500 treats in for, I don't know, $650 million, and then invest that $650 million so that by year 2, you're sitting on, I don't know, it depends on your investment rate, but even like measly private islands are like 20%. So you're looking at like $120 million worth of interest. And then in year 2, you're looking at more interest. Year 3, you're looking at interest. So effectively, it's the Mortal Coil only churns out value for 168 hours a year, whereas invested torn money gains value via interest.
I mean, you could say the exact same thing about, all of the tier 2 upgrades, and not getting any of those, and instead just exchanging them for the lower tier, the lower tier cans and lower tier like chocolate and lower tier alcohol, and then just investing that until next year, because it'll be the exact same argument. Yeah,
in a sense, although those have a much higher investment yield than 33%.
Not really. You only get a 50% chance extra of getting, well, not even a 50% chance, I think. You get like 33% chance of getting the higher alcohol once you've got both of them unlocked, I think. So it's not really that much of a boost.
Yeah, what's the alcohol upfront cost on that?
Do you know what? It's been so long, I can't remember.
Tier alcohol is 15 treats.
Yeah, 15 treats. It's like, what, 20 million?
I mean, 4 mil per treat.
Yeah,
is it 4 mil per treat? You got that much?
Yep.
Holy cow! Are you like selling? Are you selling like casino passes or something?
Yeah, I can calculate it. I had, 2.7 bill and 1.5k treats. I've never actually done this. Let me have a quick look. $5k. Okay, it's a lot less than that.
I was thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong here? But that's all good. And I didn't mean to put you.
No, it's closer to 2 mil.
2 mil. Okay, yeah. That's not, I think it was like 1.95 or something like that last year.
Yeah, I don't think I was very lucky, to be quite honest.
It's all about the casino passes and the feathery hotel coupons, honestly.
And now this year will be the business class tickets, since they've like doubled in value.
Yeah, those will, and everything, supply and demand, right? So
everything's going to drop.
Everything's going to drop for a little while, but casino passes, gamblers are going to gamble, right? And the trick to casino passes and NS, and there's a couple other people in this game that are just the masters at sell mugging. They'll put one casino pass out there, and whenever someone buys it, they'll just mug them immediately. Mm-hmm. And some of those folks got tons of money on it.
They're a blackjack table with like
exactly.
You're looking for that degenerate gambler who's like, I need more tokens.
I think I was talking there was a torn meet we had in Washington D.C., and I think I was talking to Zach Juve, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we do this all the time." And I'm thinking, "Damn, you guys are brilliant."
Yeah.
As a segue that's kind of involving that, I'm doing a tour meet myself in a week. Well, it's probably going to be less than a week whenever this airs. I don't know when this is going to air.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
I guess to wrap up here, though, 2 different approaches. Like, Cheb was saying, you're looking at like a 33% yield, 3-year payback on that Mortal Coil. I'm more of like, hey, you're only getting value 168 hours a year, whereas invested torn money via interest, you're looking at 8,760 hours per year that it's working for you. So, personally speaking, the one exception here, I'm going to allow myself to unlock the Mortal Coil if I ever get crazy lucky and hit the Cat and Hell bonus, because then I'm already going to be over the dark power limit. I might as well start unlocking shit.
So value-wise, it's not worth getting Mortal Coil or inflation, but like treat-wise, to flex on people, it might be worth it after 3 years.
100%. And now we have all this new like speculative. Actually, I think it was unlocked. There's like a whole new branch of like this. I don't know, this interdimensional being or whatever. So I mean, this is going to throw this whole podcast into into disarray here for next year. But
I'll say that'll be a next year episode.
Yeah.
I'm going to be spending all 168 treats that I get on the level tier 5 upgrades.
Yeah.
There you go. And another nice thing about the Moral Coil, it's once an hour, right? So if you're at like 99, you can wait for the hour change, and all of a sudden you're at 100. So you have a nice even number to.
Yeah, so I'll be completely efficient on every single trade-in. Whereas last year I was inefficient in my trading, so I lost 78 treats by being inefficient.
So there's some plus and minus, but there's some plus in there that kind of goes unnoticed.
I mean, and then same thing, I guess you could say with inflation. If you're the type of person who is never going to trade in your treats until you have a ridiculous amount, inflation can pay for itself.
Yeah, and it will. And Proxima's already done the math on it, and he's one of 3 that I know about has any chance really.
Yeah.
of unlocking the beast here, and that'll happen in probably 2024. It looks like. I'll be surprised if it happens next year. But
cool. That's one of the questions I had. If we thought we would see it this year or not.
Definitely not this year. Next year, maybe if someone goes inactive and gets a ton of inactivity refills, or we see like a 25% revitalized weapon, and maybe someone comes back with like Lukey Bear. He's got like 260 inactivity refills, and he's got like a 20 bill stat player. If he comes back with the ugly energy book and all those refills, and he's sitting on 6,000 TV points or something, he could get pretty close. But I think Proxima, Heasley's for him, and I think Ice Blue Fire was still, I guess, in the running, but they all got real life stuff going on, right? So who knows? 2 years from now, it's anybody's game.
That really annoyed me, the fact that they've got so many inactivity refills. I mean, they're getting rewarded from being inactive from the game for so long, coming back and beating everybody. And it's not even like the spirit of the inactivity refills, because what they're meant for is so that you can get your stats up that you've missed out on, or you can get your crimes up that you might have missed out on by being inactive. Not for, you to save them up year on year and then use to absolutely thrash everybody in an event and you becoming the god of the event.
Yeah, I was pretty salty on that too, man. I think they capped it at 100 new free refills, but some of those like legacy players are just like, what?
Mm-hmm. They even did that with if you go inactive in a city run job, right? You stop gaining points after so long.
That's correct. Yeah, the work stats. The work stats are They didn't retroactively claw back any work stats, but they did put a pause to that and just kicked everybody's work stats to 0 after, I don't remember. I think it's 90 days or something like that. Maybe it's 180 days, something like that.
Yeah.
I will say, because if this is, I've heard it's Cthulhu that gets unlocked or something like that, and I argue that I deserve to unlock it, not because I've put a lot of effort into Halloween, because I have not, but I do have a half sleeve Cthulhu tattoo, so I think that should just automatically give me the ability.
That's pretty badass, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think they have a community event where you have to post pictures of Cthulhu tattoos on your body with your ID and name, tattooed next to them, and then you get to unlock it.
I'm about that. I support that fully.
Yeah.
So here's what you do: you unlock Cat in Hell, you pray to random number Jesus, and then you make 10 attacks, and there you go.
Yeah.
You mean you pray to Cthulhu?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It looks like in our Discord in our show ideas when we were talking about the Halloween, Proxima was in here talking about it, but I guess also Heasley for hemp, he's also somebody who is close as well, right?
Yep, Proxima and Heasley are in the running, and Ice Blue Fire is kind of a distant third.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first year, me and Proxima and the other two, we were racing head and head to get to Cthulhu first, but then literally like the second year, obviously then we've come back to it, and we've been told by Chebburn that it's basically, don't do it, it's not in your best interest, you really don't want to do it, please stop. Yeah. And that spurred them on to do it a little bit more, but then I realised how much energy I'd be wasting and how much treat gain and like basket upgrades I'd be wasting by not actually going for their upgrades and just going for straight to Cthulhu.
I mean, that's what Proxima says in the Discord is like this trading out the net worth gain from this is definitely not worth saving up 10,000 treats.
Not It is for him because he's such a 0.001 percenter, right? So it doesn't matter to him. It's an in-game thing for sure.
I would say he doesn't need the money generated from this event. He wants to be like, this will go down in Torn as the person who unlocked it. He just wants his name by it, type of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'll probably get beat by somebody that's got inactive refills.
Yeah.
You got to keep in mind, this is the guy that like unlocked all the weapon experience first, right? So that's commitment. I think I'm at like 120, and it's taken me 8 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near close. All I use is a DBK, so that's.
Wait, you guys are going for weapon experience?
I'm not. not even close.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah. If there was experience on SEs, Ara would be like, he'd gain like, instead of like the 1%, he'd be at like 1.5 or something.
I mean, there's still people that make it look like I have taken none.
No, I know.
But I'm getting there.
You just touched on it, so I guess we can go back to that real quick. Revitalize weapons, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously new with ranked warring this year, but using a revitalized weapon, you obviously sacrifice the finishing hit with the spooky weapon to help with treats. Unless, is there even a revitalize axe?
No, revitalize is limited to SMGs only, submachine guns. So actually, the minimum revitalize, just to answer, I know what you're going to ask here. Yeah. The minimum revitalize percentage is 10%, and the mathematics work out to where it's the exact same from a treat standpoint, a long-term treat standpoint. It averages out to the same. Now, it's going to add a lot of RNG to that, but revitalize even at 10% is going to be ever so slightly better because of what we talked about earlier. It's going to allow you to have more attacks, and there's that cat and hell bonus that it's going to allow you to have a 1.5.
I've got a rebuttal to this, which is something I prepared earlier. If you look in this chat, so me and a faction mate, Integrator, were working on this graph yesterday, and depending on your basket type currently, is whether it's effective to use Revitalize or not. Because if you use 10% at Nightmarish basket, then it's what you're saying. It's exactly the same, apart from you'll get more attacks. However, if you're using it with a spooky basket, it's really, really bad for you.
Yeah, in that case, you definitely want to have a... I think, at least. I'd have to think that one through. Actually, I'll take your word for it.
You have to get 19% Revitalize with a spooky basket for it to be better than using a scary weapon.
Nice. Okay, so you've already done the math on that.
Yeah.
Or the maths, as you Brits call it.
So I can go over the list quickly of each basket and which Revitalize percentage chance is best for them, or which one will break even, if you want.
Would you DM me that after you're done with that so I can update that guide? Because that gets asked all the time, and I don't know it by basket, so that'd be awesome.
So, spooky basket, you want 19% or better. For the next one, which is creepy, you want 17% or better. For freaky basket, you want a 16% or better. For frightful, you want 15%. Haunting, you want 14%. And it goes up down by one each time, pretty much. Shocking, 13. Terrifying, 12. Horrifying is 12 as well. Now, the next one is petrifying, where you can get away with using an 11% or better. And then obviously Nightmarish is 10%, is the very minimum. It's like 99.99999% as effective as using a spooky weapon, which is approximately the same as using a spooky weapon. But yeah, Nightmarish basket, you can use any percentage chance of Revitalize, and it'll be just as good as using a spooky weapon.
And note that is a lot of RNG in that as you're going up.
Oh yeah, there's like a bell curve involved.
yeah. There's going to be some hit and miss, but like on average, after hundreds of attacks.
Yeah, if you've got a Nightmarish basket with a spooky weapon, you've got 100% chance of proccing the tree drop chance.
Right.
So there's no bell curve involved. However, using the Revitalize, obviously, then you've got that bell curve, which could go up to, getting 10,000 treats to getting 0 treats. You know what I mean? Depending on if you don't hit anything and you just keep getting like no energy, no treats on every attack because of that 10% you're missing out on. But yeah.
And by the way, Revitalize goes up to freaking 24%. At least that's what we know, at least. They might even go to 25 or 26, we don't know, but 24%. So it's, if you get that, you should rent that. If you have that weapon, I don't actually know.
I thought there was 24% execute the other day, so I think that they've got the same bounds, like execute and Revitalize, because that goes from 15%, so that made no sense at all. So yeah, forgive me, but I think it might be 25. I'm going to guess 25 is probably going to be the upper bound for Revitalize.
Absolutely broken. I don't know what Chad was thinking. that's so many more attacks.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Even outside of Halloween, that's really, really good for those.
Oh yeah,
those Megazords with a trillion stats.
Yep.
If the chain's got like a minimum hits that you've got to make on your chain, you just make 75%, or not quite, but like 80% of the hits that you'd make normally, and then you'll get the hit amount that you need. Or like, only making 80% of the hits to make a 10k chain, or 50k or 100k or whatever.
Yeah, what is that, like 19 energy attacks on average? That's so good.
Yeah, something like that. It's ridiculous.
Turns a Xanax from 10 attacks to 13. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Again, stacking with Dark Power and all the books.
And obviously everything like iterates as well with your treats. So you'll get your treats back and then you'll hit them all with Revitalize again.
Uh-huh. Pushing that snowball and making it ever so bigger.
Yep.
Just thinking about it is making me like itchy.
I cannot wait for this event. Literally my favorite event in Torn. So just thinking about everything that goes into it. This is the type of events that I'd like to see. I don't really know what else you could do it for besides Halloween without just literally copy and pasting the event, but probably my favorite thing of the year.
2 words. Easter basket.
Oh,
I've already made that suggestion in the suggestions forum last year.
100%. I think that was like the third person to upvote that, man.
Mm-hmm. But would you do it with attacking still, or would it be something different?
Oh, it'd be the exact same event, just in the springtime, right?
Easter, yeah. It'd be so good.
Oh, that would break the Torn City dollar value.
Oh yeah, it totally would. It would, like, casino passes are under stress for a while. My favorite is like the poison mistletoe, right? So like everybody, you just get a dump of poison mistletoes during Christmas Town, and it slowly goes up in value over the years, or over the months rather. But it is funny to see.
Yeah, so good. And then you get all the scammers come out selling regular mistletoe as poison mistletoe, and you just hear about it in the comments.
I made $300 million off that this past year. I don't know what you're talking
Jesus Christ.
I feel so bad too. It's like some noob like, hey, I'm like, hey, you're not going to make that mistake again.
Yep.
It's when you lower your poison mistletoe so it looks cheap on the market, and then you've also lowered your mistletoe to the same price.
Exactly.
Just so you can catch the people trying to get a bargain.
Yep. And then mug them both ways.
The good old ice cold
the
cola.
The reverse blind mug.
That's right.
The donator packs and boxer grenades that he does.
I miss those days.
Yep. Yeah, when everything looked the same.
I tell you what's really easy to do now is pick up not the armor cache, but hitting a different cache in somebody's in Bazaar by accident. That's really easy. They look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I've done that. I'll have to play around with that. Does that work?
Well, I mean, if you want to get away with, you might do, but then you'd be losing out on a lot of money, wouldn't you? If they,
right? That's true. If they were actually going to,
yeah.
I don't know, because then you could put like a heavy cache in for like 1.3 bill, and then put a small cache in for 1.3 bill at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to do it, is the cheaper ones. You still want to have that higher price one still saved there.
Yeah, that's the way. See, I don't do this scammy nonsense like Andyman, so I wouldn't know.
Hey, I got to get my energy count or my enemy count up. I'm only at 381.
Oh, I think I tried to do it once with Xanax and Vicodin, because I poured like 7 billion of my net worth into Xanax at some point, like trying to flip them because I was buying them cheap. And like I'd left it and gone to work and completely forgotten I had my Bazaar open, and I was hospital for like 4 hours, come back from work, looked at my phone, and I've been mugged like 50 times.
Oh my gosh.
And the worst part is that somebody fell for the Vicodin a few times during that time, But then also I got mugged for way more than the Vicodin made me, so it was
karma right there.
really double-edged sword.
That's funny.
You weren't meant to do that.
Nope.
You were punished.
Just like Ara with his cancel mugging and then had to give it back.
Ugh, brutal.
No, I don't think I've said it on the podcast yet, but I think one of my biggest recent screw-ups was I accidentally buy mugged an ad customer like an idiot.
Oh
Shit! Whoops.
Yeah.
That one cost you. That one cost in the end, didn't it?
I didn't think about it at all. And then they ended up
That'll
messaging
teach
me.
them not
Like,
to hospitalize.
That's.
yeah, they're just like, wow, even after I bought an ad from you, and I was like, wait, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah. Just so, like,
Just
just so
totally
you know, if you buy ads on this, I promise I'm gonna try not to do stuff like that to you. It was a huge mistake. You
That's
basically
ridiculous.
get a free pass of me being nice to you for the rest of our time on Torn.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah. I mean, we're looking at like an hour here, so I know people have got stuff to do. You guys want to wrap it up here?
I've got another 20 minutes if needed, but
Yeah, I can go for a little bit longer.
The only other question that I had on here is, and it's more for like the late players that are like, this is their profitable years. Is it worth it to like max out boosters with FHC for energy? Like, is it still profitable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I spent about 600 using the double can book. So it was half cooldown book. So I was using double the amount of cans last year. Even using double the amount of cans and not even upgrade my basket straight away, but like obviously for 2/3 of the event, then cashing them in, I made like a 2 bill profit.
Yeah.
So
nice. Yeah, and especially if you start mugging, if you're getting paid to like, merc and farm respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plus when you're opening your 6-pack of energy drinks, you can get those 30 cans out of them. So there is a way of getting 30 energy cans back from this event, although it might not look like it on the surface.
Even after the gym change, it's probably, with the spike in gym can or energy can prices.
Yeah, definitely.
It might even be worth it to rent a revitalized weapon.
I am doing.
The book. Are you?
I'm renting a 12% revitalized weapon for 440 mil for the week.
And it's still profitable?
Hell no.
No, it's got to be profitable. You have everything unlocked.
Yeah, but I've worked it out that I'll only get about 40 mil profit.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're saying based off of what you're getting back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll only get 40 mil extra profit from using the revitalized weapon than a spooky weapon.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm paying 440 mil for it. So, I mean, I'll get a 10% discount on the rent, but I just want to use it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And like you say, it's good for like stat padding your personal stats, getting respect, getting critical hits, doing damage dealt, etc. One hit kills if you're after that title. That's really important for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just went into the natural selection armory and found a revitalized SMG, so I guess I'm good.
Jackpot.
Just quickly retrieve that and yoink it. And,
I'm gonna have a talk with Z Junior here.
Slacking.
Yeah, there was a couple choices for revitalized weapons. I got to pick the one I wanted.
Must be nice.
You guys
really unfortunate you can't get a spooky one.
Do you have any speculation on these rumors about this?
Yeah.
The new branch.
So I heard people saying that it looks like it's going to be like upgrades for a fight, but then there's also like body parts that have been added in as items.
So there's a supply pack item called the Archipacus or something like that. And basically, I'm believing that's going to be dropping the cosmetic Cthulhu parts from it, but also the weapon parts. So not the weapons, the collectible parts. So the eye, the fang, and I can't remember what the other thing is. But I think it's going to be dropping those out of it. When you defeat the Cthulhu, it'll give you one of those to like one person, maybe.
Kind of like loot.
Mm-hmm.
somebody posted like pictures of like what they think like the attack screen is gonna look like. I don't know if you guys saw that. It looks
Or like all
pretty
the special
insane.
effects on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was
The
discovered last year, yeah, by just editing the page code during Halloween.
smart people. Yeah, so it says like for I don't even Maul. I don't know how to pronounce it, but primary is Roar and Insanity, which applies insanity to all opponents, reducing stats by 99%.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
then
actually just Loam backwards, Loam. Might be something to do with Sandy Loam.
Oh, probably after that, after Cheb bit onto, was that Vladar started that?
Oh, that Sandy Loam post. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be neat. I don't know anything about it. This is pure speculation, and I'm not committee or a developer or anything, obviously. But it sounds like the beast is going to be like interdimensional or metaphysical or something like that. So it's going to be
I think it's going to be
ghost.
like it's going to jump locations to like abroad locations. I think you have to go fly to kill it or something. That was being speculated. Yeah.
I was trying to do that with that Godzilla post where everybody flew to Japan and it just kicked all our asses and we flew back. It was like a real challenge, like a community builder.
Yeah, I mean, I had a look on the Noel stats, and they have got like attacks abroad, like stats.
Yep, that'd be cool.
So that really does play into the fact that it might be an abroad NPC.
That would be really cool. It sounds like our conventional weapons are not going to work against it.
Yeah.
Which I guess
unless it's the temporary weapons, apparently.
Yeah, I think there's a temporary weapon that makes our conventional weaponry work against it. It sounds like it. Like
that's what the tier 5 is, right? Supposedly, that's what.
Exactly.
There's a weapon that'll deal damage to it normally without you having to use the temp. There's some armor that'll negate the insanity's effect on you, so you won't be affected by it. Mm-hmm. And there's a temporary weapon that will make it so that conventional weapons can work against it for 5 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, which would suggest that conventional weapons normally wouldn't work against it. I would assume it had like a negative 200 accuracy stat or something like that. So
it
probably not doing damage.
It's interesting because so once he gets unlocked, is this going to be a always active NPC, or is this going to be a Halloween only? Because technically, like right now, like I have 681 treats. I could exchange those treats right now if I wanted to. Like it doesn't have to be Halloween to use them. So like, will this make it a year-round thing where people just have to save treats to try and defeat this thing?
The summoning him, I think you can do any time. Mm-hmm. Because obviously that is always active, so you can always press the summon him button. However, I think that the NPC is going to act like the Easter Bunny and only be attackable during Halloween.
So you think once he dies, the only way to get him back is for somebody else to spend 10,000 treats?
No, I think once he's been unlocked by the first person, that it'll be unlocked forever. Mm. But I believe that he'll only be attackable during the Halloween period, like the Easter Bunny is during Easter.
Okay.
Isn't that going to be crazy if he drops one loot, like the Fang?
Oh my god, how much money that would go for?
That's so brutal.
Yeah. I just think this primary weapon that they came up with, that everybody who's attacking him gets their stats reduced by 99%. Like that's just...
Yeah, that's going to be pretty killer, even with distraction levels. I mean,
the top 100 though, the top 100, that's not even going to affect him.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
Well, I mean, compared to this thing's stats, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure they've developed this thing to be like.
No, because if I can hit them and I've got less than 99% of the top 100 stats, then I'm sure it won't affect them that much.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's all I had for like the future, because I know we definitely, like you said, we won't see it this year, so I'm sure even more stuff will come out within the next year, or I guess maybe, like you said, if somebody randomly comes back to the game this Halloween event and blows the doors off of treat gains, but I'm sure we'll learn a lot more about that in the coming year. But I mean, I guess so. Like final thoughts, any tips and tricks, things that we didn't go over for people to know?
Cheb, do you have anything?
I'm just thinking whether I had anything in mind.
Yeah, I think what we talked about covers it, guys. I hope we didn't miss anything, and I think I speak for a lot of Torn citizens when I say, thank you for what you're doing to build the community and by extension making the game more fun to play. I'm certainly honored to be here with you guys.
I mean, you came on.
Yeah, I would say I was pretty excited to know that you were going to be coming on because I read a lot of your forum posts and you do all the heavy thinking for me because I don't do that. So it's cool to be able to do that.
I certainly appreciate that. And I by no means try to take credit. I'm just trying to communicate, trying to make difficult things more simple for people.
I mean, honestly, I guess we could say we're kind of doing the same thing instead of, people having, like, if you've listened to any of the episodes, you understand that Ara has a hard time reading and communicating. So, like, for a text-based game, like, if somebody can just listen to how to play the game, it makes it a little bit easier.
Oh, I certainly appreciate that. I know there's a Journal of Torn Science folks out there. They're, Proxima and Ice Blue Fire and Pirate. And, I'm missing so many of them. Those guys are doing heavy lifting. They're the ones that are really testing things. I'm just out there trying to communicate it to make sure everybody's on the same level playing field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions about anything, obviously have a look at Andyman's guide because he's going to be updating it when I send him this graph to look at for revitalized weapons for one.
Appreciate that.
So if you looked at it before, look at it again because he's going to add some more information onto it. But yeah, if you've got any questions in regards to Halloween, I'm sure that me and Andyman can help you out if you message me. I'm sure I can.
Voluntold.
And we'll reconvene 1 year from now so we can talk about how we all did last event, how Ara broke more than 100 treats, and what to look forward to when we summon the beast.
Ara, are you gonna do Halloween this year?
I think.
That's the determinant. Let's go. We won.
7 days. That's nothing. I mean, might as well do it. 7 days.
Exactly. And the upside is so much better. So good choice. I'm glad we convinced him to come to the dark side, or the money side, I should say.
I do have one more thing to add as well. If you've got 200 treats in your basket, or less than 200, if you've got enough treats in your basket to get 1k energy and you keep them in your basket after the event's over, you can exchange those treats at any point during the year. So if you're doing like a chain or anything, or Halloween event or something, you can use, Valentine's Day event or anything like that at all. You could then use your basket's treat to give you an extra 1k stack of energy.
Yep.
That's a great tip. Especially for dog tags or any of those. What's the other event?
Again, the event that just keeps on giving. Literally, you can put in all this work and use and you still. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you trade in for the energy, you also get the payouts, even not during Halloween.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just save it up and use it throughout the entire year for whenever that war where you just need a couple extra hits to push it over the edge. Anything, like, you have this free energy sitting there.
Valentine's Day, if folks are going for that 100k chain,
Valentine's Day,
it's a good time to use it.
Oh, I can't wait for the lag spikes on Valentine's Day this year with 100k chains out.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. And Revitalize, of course, Revitalize only gives you the energy that you output, so it won't give you 25.
It gives you 25 each, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is it 25 or is it just the energy you used?
It's energy you used. They worded that correctly. I know. I was like, oh, bummer. You could actually get ahead on that.
I thought it was infinite.
That'd be the perfect time to use it.
I don't think that's been tested yet, but I'm pretty sure you just get the energy that you used. So
yeah, I'm sure.
Wait until the bug reports start rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you both for coming on. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, everybody else learned something. And if you have any questions, again, reach out to Cheb and Andyman. I'm sure they'd be more than helpful. You can reach out to me. I probably won't know much more than what I already talked about here. But again, thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks.
Take care.
See ya.
Here is what you all have been waiting for. No more boredom, because Justice League Tournament is back. JLT is a racing tournament for all different racing skills. It is totally fair fight and everyone is able to win because you only compete against races within your own racing league. Now, if you think, oh no, my flying income, don't you worry, because Justice League Tournament has no sign-up fee and is known for its huge prize pool and also a lot of RNG gifts, not only for those on top. We are relying on donations though, so if you have anything to spare, no matter what, it is really appreciated, and 100% of it is going to our races. If you need more information on how to donate, or how the tournament is actually working, and what the schedule would be, just check the racing forums, the latest newspaper article, our racing Discord server Pitstop, or message Indolent or me directly. And those are also the places to sign up, and don't wait too long, because registrations will be shut down this Friday noon, Torn City time. Let's all have a fun time together and a good competition, and join JLT now. Let's race for justice.
This ad is for the Justice League Racing Tournament organized by Indolent, ID 538161, and Gerald 2167612. Thank you. Thank you to our ghoulish guests, Andyman and Cheb. Also, thank you so much to our phantasmic Patreons. Your support charges our eerie intentions. Our ghastly giveaway by the inhuman eye donkey is to guess what I'm making my mischievous husband, Ara, dress as for a couple's costume for a Halloween party. Send him your one gory guess. If you get it right, you'll receive a naughty clothing cache. But for tragic failed guesses, Ara will send you gifts for trying. Thank you for listening to this spectacular episode of Torn Underground. Be safe.